Vayar Elohim es kol asher asa v'hinei tov ma'od vayhi erev vayhi voker yom hashishi vayachulu hashamayim v'ha'aretz v'chol tzva'am vayachal Elohim bayim hashvi'i malachtoi asher asa vayishbois bayim hashvi'i mikol malachtoi asher asa vayivorech Elohim es yom hashvi'i v'yikadosh osek yivoy shavas mikol malachtoi asher bar Elohim la'asoi savri morai v'rabbosai baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam shakol neh b'dvaroi Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kidshanu b'mitzvosav v'rotzavanu v'shabbos kodshei b'yava v'rotzon echilonu zekaron l'masav reishis Techilol mikroi kodesh zechus mitzrayim kivonu v'chartu v'yisonu kedash mikol ha'amim v'shabbos kodshcha b'ava v'rotzon echatonu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh shabbos Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam she'achiyonu v'kimonu v'giyonu l'zman hazeh משפחות החטופים, אני מדבר איתכם. אבל העברית שלי לא כל כך טוב, ואני לא בטוח אם זה משפחות של הנחטפים, של החטופים. באמת העברית שלי לא טוב, למרות המבטא. אז בבקשה תסמכו לי ואני אדבר באנגלית. אבל חיבוק. Okay, so I'm making this video because it is Shabbat in New York right now, November 4th, and I am thinking of going to the Palestinian demonstration and of possibly wearing a yarmulke over there. Kippah, כמו שאומרים בעברית. And I don't know what'll happen. Whether I'm with a yarmulke or not, I'm going as a Zionist. I'm going as me. I assume there's a good chance that my camera will be taken. Maybe I shouldn't even bring the camera, I don't know. Well, unless I plan to upload this today on Shabbat, and I don't. I'm just making this if I need to. I'm making this as a, I don't know, in case it's necessary. So I guess maybe I shouldn't bring this at all. Just try to record audio on something. Okay. Sorry. You have to understand that from my perspective right now, I'm entering into danger from every angle without any benefit to it. I'm an Orthodox rabbi too. I am very, very dati, but not in the usual halachic way. None of this is good for me, but, well, I guess it'll have to be, because otherwise I'm not going to do it. Sorry for talking about myself there. I just want you, it is important to know a little bit about who I am. So I'll just say this. I have been involved in trying to save chatufim, nedarim, since I was very, very young. When I was a child in high school, I was involved in trying to help Jonathan Pollard in America. It was very little that I could do, but, you know, I did what I could. And then in 12th grade, when I was already myself, I led a very large campaign for the Shvuyim and Nedarim at that time. Zachary Shlomo Bomel, Yehuda Katz, Tzvi Feldman, Ron Arad, Yosef Fink, Rachamim Levi Al-Sheikh, of course, I'm not going to forget it. I moved to Israel to go to yeshiva like many Haredi American boys do, right before I turned 18. And I was in Neve Yaakov when Nachshon Waxman was kidnapped. And I stopped sleeping on a mattress and I swore off food and drink other than water and bread until he was safe. And yeah, I was afterwards involved with people in Uzbekistan, Yosef Koizinov, Dmitry Fatachov. Afterwards there was a Jew who was kidnapped in Chechnya and nobody was doing what's necessary to save him. It's questionable halachically, according to Jewish law, what you're allowed to do, because you don't want to promote it. You see, Sinwar Yamach Shemo, who did this thing on October 7th, if I'm not mistaken, he was released in the Gilad Dadashev, not Gilad Dadashev, Gilad Shalit release. The story that I'm talking about is Gilad Dadashev, which was a few years before. I don't want to get into details, but I did everything that I could, and I saved him, and he was freed on the first day of Pesach. So, at this moment, it is Shabbat, and according to my understanding of Shabbat and the way I keep Shabbat, I shouldn't be making any recordings, I shouldn't be doing any writings, I shouldn't be doing anything for the sake of any future. However, there is an exception, and Pidyon Shvuyim is definitely an exception. If I was just going to the rally for no purpose, then I could do that on Shabbat, from my understanding. If I have no goal, I'm just going there to see, hey, what's going on, but I have a goal. I don't know if it'll be doable. In fact, the odds are very good that it won't be doable. The odds are very good that I'll go to the rally with a kippah or without a kippah, and I will there won't be any opportunity. There won't be a possibility to speak to the right people, to be on their cameras if I'm not bringing one. Because if I am bringing one, of course, people, they'll just take it. There's a good chance they're going to take my yarmulke as it is, which would be problematic because I'm using it to cover my bald spot. I've got a double comb over here. That'll be very bad for me. But I'm willing to risk that. I'm willing to risk a lot of things if I go today, in any capacity. But I'm going with a purpose. I have an offer. The people of Gaza can play Gandhi. Don't get me wrong. They'll have to have me involved. Otherwise, obviously, it's ridiculous. Why would you ever believe them? V'chulei. אני מאוד ימיני. אני יודע שרובכם, משפחות החטופים, יכול להיות יותר מהשמאל, לא יודע. אבל אני לא גרתי בישראל הרבה שנים. אבל מתי שהייתי בישראל, אני ימיני כמו שצריך, כמו שאומרים. I was a big fan of Menachem Begin growing up. And afterwards, when I learned about him through Ben Hecht, I was a big fan of Hillel Cook, also known as Peter Bergson, who was the head of the Etzel in America during World War II. It turns out later on I found out I was born on both of their birthdays. They were both, like me, born on Shabbat Nachamu. That's why Menachem Begin was named Menachem. Shabbat Nachamu after Tisha B'Av. So, also, I forgot to say that a lot of the hasbara that was done by official government people in the early 2000s was written by me. I traveled around the world speaking hasbara for Israel, all around the world. I recorded a lot of things. I'm not stupid about this. I'm somewhat well educated on this matter of Tzionut and the conflict and all of that. And I have lived among Arabs. Not only when I was in yeshiva in the Iratika, when you look from where I slept, from my mattress, into the window of an Arab person, I was right on top of the shuk. They would bang on my window to wake me up during Ramadan. But subsequently, I lived in other Arab countries, in actual Arab countries. I was even in Ramallah. That's why I can say that they are human too. They are human too. It doesn't mean anything like a Yefei Nefesh would say, like any Smolani would say. I'm sorry to say negative about Smolanim. I'm just trying to give you my cred over here. I'm not from the Bleeding Heart people. I'm not from the Shalom Achshav crowd. I am a Talmid of Menachem Begin. Really. So, the opportunity for the Palestinians to play Gandhi. I don't think they'll take me up on it. Therefore, it's more likely they'll just take my camera away, because here I'm offering them an opportunity to save their lives, and it won't cost them anything. And they'll gain a big benefit, because Jews don't have any choice but to listen to me. If I'm speaking for the Palestinians, I'm going to offer, if I can, if it's proper, I'm going to offer to live in Gaza I'm not leaving them behind kind of thing, as part of this hostage negotiation. Whew. Yeah, so if they don't accept it, obviously it doesn't necessarily go well, and if they just take the idea and run with it on their own without involving me, it's obviously meaningless, and I'll speak against it. And I have this recording showing that I made the idea first, that they got it from me, and I'll speak against it because it's ridiculous, because it's obvious lies, it's bullshit, it's propaganda. My offer to them is to be Gandhi. Release the Chatufim. Again, I don't know why our word is not Nechtafim, but okay. Release them. Get them released. and the Hamas leaders, now I'm talking to the people of Gaza if they want to stay alive, the Hamas leaders, obviously what they can do, the best option they have, is turn themselves over to the International Court in The Hague. Europe is not very pro-Jewish. They have a pretty good chance if they all decide to go Gandhi and turn themselves over to The Hague. A pretty good chance. And I'd be taking away from the Jews who have a right to revenge, the Jews who have an emotional, moral right to revenge. I would be taking that away from them. This is not a total win for the Jews. I'm saying this because, whatever, who knows what this audience is, and it's true. Yeah, that's it, essentially. It's pretty simple. Gandhi's message, like the message of Jesus before him, like the message of Yeshaya before him. It's not very complicated. Yeshaya is a little more complicated and pretty brilliant. I would love the opportunity, if I live through this, Bezrat Hashem, I would love the opportunity to, maybe I should upload this in case Chas v'Shalom. I don't know. I don't want to do that on Shabbat. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to present this possibility to them. Maybe I should dafka bring a camera so that, what? So I get a propaganda video showing them turn it down? Who cares? No one's going to even see the propaganda video. What good will it do? I don't know how to go viral. There are ways to go viral. It's not luck of the draw. It's either you win the lotto because you get lucky in some mysterious way, accidental way, or, or you paid for it. That's how it works. I'm not getting any good video. I don't know if there's a point to bring a video. I'm going to have to be on their video. If they're willing to take me up on it, they can put me on video. But of course, they're most likely to put me on video for other things. They're most likely, if I go there and I see that I can't really do anything. First of all, I'm not above making an anti-Semitic joke. Who cares? Who cares? What are words? Words are nothing. Nothing. But if they get that, and and it doesn't look good, so it's important for you to understand that I'm trying for something. I'm trying, like I said, just very simply. They can force the people of Hamas and Islamic Jihad who are in charge, Jihad Islami, the people who are in charge, they can force them to release the hostages. I would think they can force them at the threat of their lives. And for the Islamic Jihad leaders and the Hamas leaders, your best chance by far is taking my plan as well and turning yourself over to The Hague. Maybe Netanyahu will be upset at me. I hope not, because he's got a big apparatus. Netanyahu, for the record, I helped you get elected in 96. I had a very small part, but a big enough part. I risked my life with Shimon Peres in 96, for real. Okay, I know that later on you pretended Shimon Peres was not the Rasha that he is. Okay, I'm sorry. Now the families of the Chatufim are going to be upset because they probably like Shimon Peres. They don't know the things that I know. They don't know the things that I know. They don't know the things that I know. As you can see, I'm not a simple person. I'm not a simple person, but I'm definitely not a mechanef. I'm definitely not a mechanef. I'm not a liar. I'm not somebody who kisses up. I'm definitely not lying. I'm trying to do something here. Now, the people of Gaza, what do I think? Well, I've never been to Gaza, but I've been to the West Bank. I've lived in the West Bank, in Shiloh. I've many friends, many relatives in the West. This is my country. I am Zioni. I am Zioni. I believe there should be a standard protocol to all the Arabs around us, saying, we will not attack you, but if you attack us, and we have no choice, then we will take your territory and push you further into some other Arab or Muslim territory. Pshuto k'mashmao. We believe that we were given minahal Mitzrayim ad nahal Prat. Wallah. Wallah. I'm not going to go take it. I'm not going to go take it, but if you attack, I will take the opportunity, and I'll take it. That said, it is not good that there are people, a lot of good people. Sure, maybe they have bad thoughts about Israel. Who cares? They don't have any power anyway, the average person. You know this. You know that in Israel, which has got to be the most democratically wild country in the world, how much, the old Golda Meir joke, right, about, try ruling over 3 million prime ministers. In Israel, you know how little involvement you have over your government. And in Israel, you can choose from a zillion different parties, and you know that you still have that little power. In the West Bank, in Gaza, what power do they have at all? Who gives a shit what they think about the Jews? Who gives a shit? They are suffering, and it's not good, and I have no great solution, except if they do adopt Gandhiism. And I would like to be their oreach, their guest, but technically I would know that I'm their hostage. I would commit to living in Gaza for 5 years and let you understand. Again, I'm complicated. And I don't back down. my deal with them is that I have complete freedom in Gaza. If they are Gandhiists, which again, no, I don't think it will happen, but I have to do it. I have to try, you know? I expect if I'm living in Gaza that I will be teaching Torah in Gaza. I expect if I'm living in Gaza, I'll be teaching Torah to the people there and maybe even inviting people from the country of Israel. It's part of Eretz Yisrael as far as I'm concerned. It's between Nahar Mitzrayim and Nahar Prat. I don't care to get into the halachic discussions right now about that. And I'm not joking. I'm willing to risk my life. For real, risk my life. That's it. I didn't explain that clearly, maybe. I don't know. But I hope you do understand that if you do see a video of me, especially with a kippah, I'm thinking to go with a kippah bedavka. Bedavka. Not bedavka to incite them. But bedavka, כציוני, שהם ידעו שאני יהודי ואני ציוני. What I'm offering them is that their families in Gaza won't be killed. That's what I'm offering them. What will stop? Who am I? I'm not Netanyahu. I'm not anybody. What will stop the Israelis from killing? Shame. 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 If I post this, if a 1 in a million miracle happens, if it is the will of God, and they accept my offer, you, the families of the hostages, and all of the good Jews, you will not let the government continue to kill them. You will not let the government kill me, who freed the hostages, who was living there among them. I will go there and be their hostage for the hostages being freed. I know you will not let that. Don't get me wrong. I know the Jews. I know that they're just a little bit better than the Goyim, and that's it. I know it's embarrassing. It is shameful. It is a chilul Hashem. It is chilul Hashem that the Jews are only a little bit better than Goyim. But they are better. You won't let me be killed if I free the Chatufim. I don't think it's happening, but if that happens, and I go there in exchange for them, you won't let the government continue to bomb them if they finish Hamas. If the Hamas leaders turn themselves over to The Hague. If I'm there among them, representing them, you won't let the government bomb them. I hate this, for the record. I don't want this for myself. This is not what I want to be doing. But, l'tzari harav, the Rabbono Shel Olam did not give me another choice. I don't want to be this involved. I've seen too much sheker in every part of the world. I don't want to be this involved, but the Rabbono Shel Olam wants me to be. So, that's it. Shabbat Shalom.